Alright guys, I'm getting seriously excited. I'm sure you guys are going to as well, because we're going to be chucking this beast on the dyno and we'll see what it does very, very, very soon. Oh, yeah, that's Gok. He's been riding shotgun with me for a while. Look at his face, man. Like, he just loves the boost. He's been pulling that face since he got in this car. He's a boost fiend. So what I thought I'd do is actually just make a video running through what I've done and am doing and gonna do to get this car ready for the dyno. So firstly, because I'm so organized and shit, I've made a checklist on my phone. So I'll read out basically what's on my list, something that I've already done. For those things that I've done, I'll do some B-roll footage or something if it's actually relevant. So basically, well, what I think anyway, the first thing, you want to change your oil. You want a nice fresh batch of oil in your engine, obviously the right amount, and an oil filter as well. So I'll be doing that very soon when I finish shooting this. Next up, plugs and associated ignition things. I know that all my ignition stuff's good. So yeah, plugs, I'll probably end up changing all 6 and gap them down. I run a 0.8mm gap. So yeah, the next thing on the list, which I haven't checked for a while, is I'm going to do a boost leak test with my boost leak tester. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I'll do a quick video, I guess, on it. I'll be curious to see if there are any leaks and what's leaking. Alright guys, so I'm sure all of you probably already know how to do a boost leak test or what a boost leak tester is, but for those of you who don't, they come in all shapes and sizes, all different forms. This one I've been using for ages. To now use it on my 4-inch inlet on my turbo, I've had to just quickly mock up this little adapter out of some scrap. So anyway, the idea of the boost leak test is to basically fill your whole system, charge piping, as it would be as the car was running, to the desired boost pressure, maybe a little bit over what you plan to run. So, as you already saw, I've taken the airbox and the air filter out, so it's just a matter of installing this in here, like so. Make sure you can read the gauge and get to the inflator, and then simply tighten it down. I like to use just a spray bottle like this with some soapy water in it. I just put some hand cleaner dispenser stuff in this. So nice little spray bottle, that's ready. And then you get your tire inflator and basically plug it in, and we're just going to fill this system up to about 20-25 pounds. It appears the idle air control body is leaking boost out it. I remember this did happen with my previous one that I had on the car, and I fixed it by putting some JB weld around the top of the body here. And then other than that, I'll just go around to all my silicone couplers and spray them and just see if there's any bubbles or anything coming out. Like, I'm pretty confident it's all good. So yeah, you just got to basically progress with it, work your way around the car. Sometimes if it's not holding boost, you might have to crank your motor over to, say, top dead center or something, or thereabouts, so that all your valves are shut. Obviously, depending on your cams and overlap, that'll be different for every car. But yeah, other than that, you just want to basically go around all your junctions that hold boost and check them. But yeah, that's basic stuff. What I've already done is I've moved from a 2-bar to a 3-bar map sensor. So because I'm running more boost, higher than 14.7 pound, we need to go to a 3-bar, so I've already installed that. Ben has already sent me a revised tune that runs that, so the car's driving fine. So that's all good, that's all done. I need to get my methanol injection nozzles and take them with me in case we need to change out nozzle sizes on the dyno, depending how it's performing when we start spraying. Obviously I need to bring my methanol water boost juice mix from Snow. So I've got 4 4-litre bottles of that, so I'll chuck them in the back. Fuel pressure regulator. So I've currently got a cheap eBay one which came with my turbo like yonks ago. I installed it, it seems to be working fine. I've also got a Turbo Smart FPR 800 brand new, which I did buy for this in case that was crap. But if all's well with this one, I'll probably just leave it and install it in my Forester, which I'm also building, as you've probably already seen. Another thing I'd like to do, if I can, if I get time, is basically trigger the GFB GeForce 2 boost controller to go into the high boost preset when the meth's spraying. Obviously you want to check that your clutch and everything's good. This clutch is only a couple of months old and it's a monster of a twin plate, so it's not going to slip. It's all good. Transmission, diff, everything's all good. And a thing that I've already done but you might want to do depending on the age is put a new fuel pump in. So I currently run and have run a Warbro 255 litre per hour fuel pump. I think it's the GS 342 I should say pump. The one I'm running in this is actually a kind of customized kit that suits this car. It's got a different strainer and a few other goodies, which is actually a lot better than the crappy ones that come with them. So don't use those crappy square ones, they're just a nightmare, they're total shit. So yeah, what I did, I put that in just for precautionary measures. The old pump was fine, it's been there for 6 years, it was still going strong. But the interesting thing that I did do was I checked the voltage at the pump with the factory wiring. With the car running, I was getting like 12.65, 12.7 volts or something, which is shit, when the batteries are really seeing like 14.3 or something. So what I did was I used well firstly from the pump to the bulkhead fitting where it goes through the tank, I've got rid of all the shitty wires and I've soldered the big gauge wires that came with the Warbro plug straight onto those terminals. And then the plugs on the other side of the bulkhead are actually pretty decent gauge. So that's all good there, shouldn't be any voltage drop. But what I did do was I changed the source that the power comes from. So instead of it coming, because my battery's in a tray, it goes all the way through the car and then back around into the fuel pump. So what I did was I cut the positive wire that runs to the fuel pump normally and use that as a trigger wire for a new relay, which then pulls the high amperage load straight from the battery. So it's only like a 800 mil of wiring or something from the battery to the pump. So that upped the voltage from 12.7 or whatever up to about 0.2 volt. I can't remember what it was, but it was about 0.2 volt drop from the battery to the fuel pump, which was a massive difference. So that should help flow a lot more fuel at higher RPM when we need it. So yeah, everything should be good to go on the dyno. But yeah, hopefully you guys found this interesting. Feel free to add stuff that you guys might do, or any recommendations. But I'm pretty confident with this car. I drive it every day. I've got total faith in it. So you know what, let's see what this bottom end can handle of the old L27, and we'll see you on the dyno next video.